The agricultural revolution. Hi, I'm here. And before there was a world war, there was a world history. And before there were world history memes, there was a world history crash course. This is the first episode of World History, and over the next 59 episodes, we'll take you from the beginning of human history to the present day. People started settling down in one place and cultivating the land. They built villages and started raising crops and livestock. This period of settling down and starting to farm is known as the agricultural revolution. And it totally changed the way humans lived. It started around 12,000 years ago, and it changed the way humans lived forever. It led to the development of cities and social structures, and it allowed for population growth. So get ready to have your mind blown. So let's start at the beginning. The agricultural revolution. Humans used to move around a lot. They were nomadic, traveling from place to place following the food. This way of life worked okay until humans began to invent stuff like houses, villages, and the wheel. But because humans kept moving, they couldn't really build anything permanent or, plant crops. Crops require a lot of work, and they only last for so long. You can't just leave a carrot in the ground forever. At some point, you gotta harvest that ish. But if you're nomadic, you can't harvest anything because you're too busy running around. But around 12,000 years ago, something changed. For this, humans were hunter-gatherers, meaning they got their food by, hunting and gathering. They traveled in small groups, maybe 30 people or so, and moved from place to place following the food. So they formed communities and eventually cities. They also had to cooperate with each other to take care of their crops. So social structures began to form. Farming also led to an increase in population because there was more food available. And that, my friends, is how we went from living in caves to building cities. When the food ran out, they would move to a new place, and the cycle would start again. This way of life required a lot of work, and humans never really had enough food to, get fat. So most of them were pretty skinny. But it also meant that humans were free to roam wherever they wanted, whenever they wanted. But once they started farming, everything changed. Farming required a lot of work, and humans needed to stay in one place to take care of their crops. So let's review. The agricultural revolution was the period of time when humans began to farm and raise livestock. Okay, now it's time for you to review what you've learned.